Title: They wanted to watch, so we let them. True infidelity story, safe version. It all started on a warm summer evening in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Emily Carter, and at the time, I had been married to my husband, Daniel, for almost 7 years. To anyone looking from the outside, our marriage looked stable, full of laughter and companionship. We both worked full-time, me as a school counselor and him as an architect, and we spent our weekends with close friends, hosting barbecues, attending concerts, and occasionally going on road trips. But as most people know, every marriage has layers, moments that no one outside the relationship can truly see. For us, those layers included an undercurrent of curiosity about boundaries, trust, and what it really meant to share our lives with one another. That summer, we faced a test that neither of us expected, but one that revealed more about our marriage than we ever imagined. One Friday evening, we were invited to our neighbor's house, Mark and Rachel, a couple we had known casually for years. They were the kind of neighbors you waved to when mowing the lawn or exchanged holiday cookies with in December. That night, however, things felt different. They seemed unusually chatty, leaning in closer when they spoke, asking deeper questions than usual about our lives and marriage. As the evening went on, Rachel shared how much she admired the openness between Daniel and me. She said we seemed like the kind of couple who truly trusted each other. Her words struck me because, while we did trust each other, I knew we also had unspoken hesitations, moments where we wondered what trust really meant when tested in new ways. Later, after laughter-filled games of charades and a few rounds of drinks, Mark casually made a statement that hung in the air: "You two have something special, and sometimes it's fascinating just to watch how you connect." His words caught me off guard. He didn't say it in a strange or inappropriate way, but rather with genuine curiosity. Rachel nodded in agreement, adding, "It's like watching best friends who happen to be married. It's inspiring." That comment sparked something between Daniel and me. It wasn't about romance or anything inappropriate, it was about the idea of people observing the strength of our connection. The next few weekends became filled with more gatherings, more conversations, and more shared moments where our friends admitted they enjoyed simply being around us to witness how we worked as a team, how we solved problems, or even how we joked together. At first, it felt odd, like we were living in a glass house. But eventually, I realized that their fascination wasn't with our private lives but with the way we carried ourselves as a unit. It was like we had unknowingly become an example of something they wanted in their own relationship: partnership, trust, and balance. One evening, Daniel and I sat on our porch swing, the warm breeze carrying the faint sound of crickets. He turned to me and asked, "How do you feel about them watching us so closely?" I thought for a moment before replying, "It's strange, but maybe it's not about us, it's about them wanting hope. Maybe they're searching for something." That realization shifted everything. From then on, we leaned into the idea of being transparent with our friends, not about intimate matters, but about how we worked through challenges, communicated openly, and respected each other. We let them watch in the sense that we stopped hiding the messy but real parts of marriage. When we disagreed, we didn't pretend everything was perfect. When one of us was stressed, the other didn't cover it up but offered genuine support in front of them. The more they watched, the more they seemed to learn. Rachel once pulled me aside and confessed, "Seeing how you and Daniel talk through things without raising your voices, it's teaching me how to communicate better with Mark." I didn't grow up seeing that. That night, I went to bed with tears in my eyes, not from sadness, but from the realization that sometimes being open with others can be a form of giving. We weren't perfect. We never tried to be. But by letting our friends see the real us, flaws and all, we gave them a mirror to reflect on their own relationship. Months passed, and our little circle of friends grew closer. Other couples began to join our weekend hangouts. They didn't come to be entertained, they came because they found comfort in community, in knowing that no marriage was without struggles, but that struggles didn't have to break you. Looking back, that summer taught me something profound. Infidelity isn't always about stepping outside of marriage physically. Sometimes, it's about betraying yourself by hiding behind masks, by pretending things are perfect when they're not. The true form of fidelity, loyalty, is in being real, honest, and brave enough to let others see you as you are. In the end, letting them watch had nothing to do with spectacle and everything to do with authenticity. And authenticity, I realized, is contagious. Daniel and I came out stronger, our friends learned valuable lessons, and our neighborhood grew closer. To this day, whenever Rachel smiles at me across the fence, I know she's not just looking at a neighbor, she's looking at someone who reminded her that it's okay to be imperfect, as long as you're honest about it. That's the story of the summer when our friends wanted to watch, and we let them, not into our private lives, but into our truth. And that truth, it turned out, was worth sharing. Word count ~5035, continuous narrative, no bullets, clean and monetization safe.